Are you curious? This is Angy Stewart from InnerLight and Kardec Radio. Today we are going to talk about intuition and inspiration. Are they the same thing? So, if you want to know more about it, please subscribe to our channel. InnerLight, you will be helping us to spread the good news around. So, what is the difference? A lot of people get very confused because a lot of people actually think these two things are the same, but they are not. They are different. And it can be a little bit confusing for you to understand. So to give you better explanations, I will be using this book. This is the Medium's book, codified by Allan Kardec. And I will be referring to it with further details in a little bit. But it will be on chapter 15, and the items will be 180 and 182. But let's go. So what is intuition? So the word into, so intuition, it's in of us. It's something that's within us, with our soul. We call soul when we are incarnated, but our spirit is eternal. Because our spirit is eternal, we had many past life experiences. We had many lives, pretty much connected with our knowledge of a reincarnation. We already spoke about reincarnation. We already spoke about déjà vu, past life experiences. So if you want to know a little bit more about all the subjects, please check our videos and you will be able to understand more about all those items. But coming back to intuition. So intuition in of us, it's something that we already lived. We already went through that. So it is within us somewhere in our memory. It is there, is stored there. For example, imagine you are in a situation. For example, you are in a river with a bunch of friends, and you can see it's kind of wide river, and you can see further it is a current. It's like a strong current. And one of your friends says, let's try to cross the river and see who arrives first. And then immediately you have like two strong friends that want to cross the river. And suddenly you freeze. You feel really bad. You feel like, no, this is not a good idea. Because you had the intuition that you lived something very similar to that in a previous lifetime. You don't remember, obviously, but you have that feeling that you don't like it. And immediately you tell them, no, guys, stop. I don't think this is a good idea. And then you start, look, pay attention to the current. You see how the current is very strong all the way down there? There is even some kind of water movement that many times in rivers, they pull you down. And then you are able to convince your friends to not cross the river. But if we could analyze, if we could go back, what happened is that in a previous lifetime, you actually had a similar experience with other friends in some situation that reminds you that they crossed the river and one of them died. So you had this intuition because you lived something similar before. It does not mean you were in the same river, you had the same friends, but was something similar. And you had that in your mind, and you were able to actually avoid something that could be really, really bad. So this is the good understanding of what is intuition. Now, what is the other one? What is inspiration? So, inspiration. Imagine you are inspiring the air. You are inhaling. You are from the outside and you are bringing in. This is a good idea of thinking, because this, you are bringing something into you, inhaling the air, and this is what is inspiration, something from the outside coming to the inside. You can say it's many times is a spirit that is giving you an idea that you might have never lived, you might have never gone through something like that. But you absorb that, you receive that idea that is not an old idea, is not like the other one that you already had that. So this is something new, it never happened to you. And you're just like, wow, okay, that's interesting. So you were inspired. But you have to understand this inspiration can be to the good and can be to the bad. We are always surrounded by spirits. That's why it's so important for us to be vibrating in a higher level, so we connect with our guardian angels. As I already also did a previous study about guardian angels and also about obsessors. They are the spirits that vibrate in a lower level. They still don't understand how to be good and loving. They vibrate in a lower level of energy. They are still the spirits that are angry, they are nasty, and one day they will be able to evolve and be loving spirits. And one day all of us will be able to evolve and be higher level spirits. So this is the difference between intuition and inspiration. And now the Medium's book brings us more understanding about mediumship of intuition and mediumship of inspiration. What is that? There are many different types of mediumship. We are going to speak only about the mediumship of writing or psychography, that a medium writes messages from the spirits. There is one called mechanical writing. This mechanical writing, the spirit puts his energy, his power in the hand of the medium. So the medium, imagine myself, I can be talking, I can be watching a movie, and my hand is writing by itself. But the mediumship of intuition is different. The spirit is not imposing anything to my hand, but it's giving me ideas in my mind. And when is mediumship of intuition, like in the item 180 of chapter 15 of this book, the Medium's book, Kardec will describe in details mediumship of intuition. So the medium already had experience in that field. So when the spirit is telling him or her something, it's very easy, it's natural, because the medium himself or herself already lived that. So he just writes super fast because it's so natural for him or for her. And what is the mediumship of inspiration? It's also described in the Medium's book in the item 182. So inspiration is some idea new to the medium. The medium will also hear, like, it's almost like a thought, very strong thought that comes in our minds, and you are not very familiar with that. So it's almost like the medium has to has to dictate to you the idea, and you copy it. And you're like, wow, this is so interesting. I never thought about that. And the medium writes the idea that's a new idea. So these are the difference. issue in from your own soul, from you, spirit, and inspiration that you inhaled from another spirit, a living, free living being that will give you the idea. Usually good idea, because we all have our guardian angels and protector spirits that try to help us. See you soon. Bye.